You keep walking. She doesn't. You take another step. She takes 3 seconds to investigate the exact same patch of grass like it contains classified government information. And then she does it again, and again, and again. If you've ever walked a Shiba, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But here's the weird part. Your Shiba isn't really stopping to smell grass, they're reading it. And once you understand what they're actually doing, those painfully slow walks start making a lot more sense. Dogs experience the world through their nose in a way that's almost impossible for us to imagine. When you walk past a tree, you might see a tree. Your Shiba can detect chemical information left behind by other animals, including trace that tells them who was there, what's changed, and potentially how recently. So when Luna suddenly becomes completely obsessed with one tiny spot on the sidewalk, to her it's not just a spot, it's information. And this is why the classic Shiba walk can look absolutely ridiculous from a human perspective. You are trying to get somewhere. Meanwhile, your Shiba is investigating the neighborhood's entire social media feed. Think about the difference between walking through your neighborhood while staring at the ground, and walking through it while receiving thousands of new pieces of information. For a Shiba, every walk can be an opportunity to explore. New smells, old smells, other dogs, people, food, changes in the environment, and sometimes absolutely nothing that we can detect. That's part of why letting dogs sniff during walks can be valuable. They're not simply burning energy by moving their legs, they're engaging their brain. And that matters because a walk doesn't have to be a race from point A to point B to be a useful walk. Sometimes the most interesting part of the walk is the part where you are not going anywhere. But here's where things get interesting. Because if sniffing is so useful, should you just let your Shiba sniff absolutely everything for as long as they want? Not necessarily. And this is where a lot of owners accidentally turn a walk into a negotiation with a small furry dictator. Your dog needs opportunities to explore, but you also need to be able to walk, cross roads safely, move past something dangerous, and get home before dinner. So the goal is not never let my Shiba sniff. And it's not let my Shiba control the entire walk. It's teaching your dog that there can be both. You can have stretches where your Shiba gets to investigate whatever is safe and appropriate. And you can also have moments where it's time to move. This creates a much better expectation for both of you. And there's one thing I'd change immediately if your Shiba constantly stops on walks. Stop treating every sniff like a problem you need to interrupt. Because sometimes the sniff is the walk. Imagine if someone took you outside after sitting at your desk all day long, and then told you, okay, we're going for a walk, but you're not allowed to look at anything. You'd still be moving, but you'd be missing half of the experience, if not more. For a dog, scent is one of the major ways they gather information about the environment. So giving them time to investigate isn't necessarily indulging bad behavior. It can simply be giving them a chance to be a dog. So what should an actual Shiba walk look like? I'd think about it in 3 parts. 1. Exploration. Let your Shiba sniff and investigate the safe areas. Don't rush every single stop. Number 2. Movement. There are times where you need to keep going. Use whatever cue and leash skills you've taught your dog to transition away from the interesting smells. And 3. Give them appropriate opportunity to explore. The last part is important because if every attempt to sniff ends with you immediately pulling them away, they can learn that stopping to investigate always makes the fun disappear. Instead, the message becomes, we're moving now, you will get another chance. That makes the walk much less of a battle. And this is probably the biggest expectation shift I'd want Shiba owners to take away. A good dog walk isn't measured by how far you went. It's measured by what your dog got out of it. Sometimes it's exercise. Others it's training, social exposure, and sometimes it's standing next to a bush, for 47 seconds because apparently that bush has a fascinating story. And honestly, that's one of the reasons Shiba walks can be so funny. You think you're taking your dog for a walk. Meanwhile, your Shiba thinks you're accompanying them on an investigative expedition. So the next time your Shiba stops for the 5th time in 30 seconds, you don't necessarily need to think, come on, we're wasting time. Try thinking, what did my Shiba find? Because you might be walking through the exact same neighborhood you've seen 1,000 times, while your Shiba is experiencing it as a completely different world. And maybe that's the real lesson. We're walking the same street, but we're not experiencing the same walk. So let your Shiba sniff, set boundaries when you need to, and every once in a while, give them a little extra time to investigate that suspicious looking patch of grass. Because to you, it's just grass. To your Shiba, it's today's news. And apparently, it's breaking news.